Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Chelsea, and welcome to
Nick and Chelsea's Gen Excellent Adventure,
where we chronicle ourselves as 50-something parents of a 5-year-old during our move from the USA to the UAE.
You can also follow along with our journey on our Instagram page, Nick Chelsea's Gen Excellent Adventure. And if you have any questions or subjects you'd like us to address, go ahead and send those through the Instagram page.
And side note, you can also just type in the name of our podcast in Instagram, and that page should come up. It is still Nick and Chelsea's Gen Excellent Adventure, whether you're on Instagram or on the podcast. Either way, moving on to our topics for today.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this a little bit, kind of teased to it last week, that T was having his first birthday party. That happened on Friday, and so we're going to talk a little bit about kid birthday party culture here in Dubai.
Yes.
It's a little different than what we were experiencing back in Seattle.
Quite different.
So I guess I should be the one to sort of talk about it a little bit, at least what happened with our first experience, because I was the one who went with T to this party.
Which is very much a strategic decision because I work as a high school counselor, and some of his classmates have high school age siblings. And so it just felt like a good move for everybody that Nick be the person of the party. And I got a mani-pedi. I won.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it was T who won because he got to go to a birthday party. And so this was one of his classmates in kindergarten.
Yep.
And it was a situation where basically the invitation went out to everyone in the class. And so the way it works is it was at this play area in Dubai, and actually it's called Oli Oli, and it's actually a children's museum. And it was a 2-hour birthday party. It was kind of broken down into 3 segments. The first 15 minutes was a meet and greet session, kind of letting all the kids get there. And then they had about an hour where they went to 3 different rooms where they had activities. They had one room that had this giant climbing net.
Cool.
That all the kids were running around and having a good time in there. And then they went into this water room where there's like this area where there's rain, and there's this area where there's kind of a river that toys were in, and they had a car that they all got to go out and wash.
And that's the only room I heard about from T when you got home.
Okay.
So he seemed to like that best.
And then the third one was this dark room where it was very dark, and they had these big rubber balls that lit up that they could go and play around with. And then after that, there was about 45 minutes in the party room where they had food and the cake and all of that particular part of the celebration.
Cute.
And the theme was fairy tales.
Yep.
And what happens is that these areas are all set up for birthday parties. They're kind of like, that's one of their major things they do is they host birthday parties.
I mean, we've seen birthday parties at a couple places we've gone to.
Yes. Yeah, and that seems to be the default here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about all the different demographics of kids.
Right.
But certainly in our demographic, that's the way you do birthdays.
Or
is that
within the school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that you rent out basically a play area.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them have themes you can choose. And I actually looked at Oli Oli's website to see what the themes were. They have 4 different themes you can choose. You had the fairy tales, that was this one. You could do superheroes, you could do sport, and you could do safari.
Fun.
And so
we all know what T would choose. Yeah.
And then they also had a couple of employees who kind of led the whole thing. They were wearing fairy wings.
That's cute.
And they were kind of being in character as they led this group of about 15 kids around to these various play areas and did little activities with them as well.
Yeah.
So, it was a pretty decent setup, and it's clear that they know what they're doing, that this is something that they do regularly.
Yeah, and I mean, the people who work at these places are really quite good. Mm-hmm. Like, they are very attentive, and they play with the kids. Even if the kids aren't there for a party, you'll see, not all of them, but you'll see people engaging with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a good setup. it's also a pretty spendy setup.
Oh my goodness, yes.
So you look at the sites, and you got different packages that you can do, obviously. You got the bare bones or the let's go crazy package. But I would say that the midpoint or average would be around 200 dirham per kid.
So.
And that's a little more than $50 a kid.
So that's like 200 dirham per kid, and you have 20 kids.
Yeah, that's $1,000. So
we are not the parents who send their kids to this school. We are getting a tuition discount, as in it's free because I work there. So it's a different situation between the parents who are able to pay for their kids to go versus those of us who work at the school.
Well, and it's not just the renting out that you're getting for your money too. I mean, this included everybody getting fed. Yeah. So they all got pizza, a pizza box with what else was in there? There was French fries in there, and they got a juice, and they got little skewers with vegetables on it. There was food for the adults as well,
which is nice.
Pizza for the adults. There was, and there were gift bags that all the kids took home, which were pretty good. I mean, it was not temporary tattoos and bubble wands. I mean, he got a pretty good water bottle out of this.
Yeah.
Branded water bottle.
Yeah, really nice insulated water bottle. It's true. Yeah, it's something we just have to get used to. We, the little corner of Seattle that we lived in and the parties that we've been to have been much more low key. Quite a few were at Seattle Gymnastics, so you do have to pay for that. They also provide gift bags. It's not quite as fancy, not anywhere close, and doesn't cost as much as that either. And then when we've done a public park shelter. Because his birthday's in June, and then Seattle, that's a good time for a birthday outside. Because even if it rains, it's not freezing, and people will still come and hang out. Anyway, it just doesn't cost as much. You can choose to spend that much if you choose to do really nice gift bags. And there was a year where I bought nice pizza, and I would never do that again. But because I was like, why? That was a waste of money. But I tried not to do gifts. We always say no gifts, and a lot of the birthdays that T has gone to in the past have been no gifts. So this is a gift is expected, and we would, of course, we're happy to buy one, but it is just a whole different culture.
Right. I think that's something that we're learning, is that the birthday culture here in Dubai is a gift-giving culture.
Yeah, and it's just a really big deal. Birthdays are a really big deal.
It's I'm sure like that still in a lot of the states.
Yeah.
But where we were in Seattle and in our demographic, it's starting to become more of a your presence is your present.
Yes.
Sort of vibe for everything with a kid's birthday.
Yeah, and partly because on a practical level, we just don't need more stuff in the house.
Yeah. Right?
We don't need more little things. And it's not that we had nothing. We gave away the temporary tattoos. That was like our little gift, but we didn't put them in individual bags because who needs another bag? We just did put them out in a basket, and people could take them if they wanted them.
Well, more importantly, we didn't necessarily need T having 20 more gifts himself.
Yes, we just didn't
on his
want
birthday.
that.
I mean, back in Seattle, he had so much grandparent love and so forth that is more than enough birthday gifts. We didn't need the 25 kids who came to his birthday last year to also be giving him gifts. Yeah, otherwise, we wouldn't have had any room in our house.
He would have loved it. We were like, nope. He did ask why, but it was okay. We were like, listen, having them here is your gift. All these people love you, and they showed up.
Yeah, and because he went to plenty of birthdays as well where gifts were not part of it.
Right.
So it was something that is part of the culture there. Mm-hmm. Is that it's okay to have a birthday where gifts aren't part of the process. Yeah. But here, from what we can tell so far, which is still granted very early in the process, that's not really how it's done.
But my friend told me that what you experienced on Friday was indeed the norm. So, and no judgment on the gifts or the parties. It's just like an interesting comparison. And I certainly loved getting birthday gifts when I was a kid. So I get it.
And fortunately, we have 9 more months before we have to figure out how we're going to handle it ourselves.
I know. I was like, can we put this off till we're back in Seattle for the summer? Okay, so on to our next experience that was brand new. Mm-hmm. I mean, like truly brand new. Like at least we've been to birthdays. Mm-hmm. This was brand new. We were really looking for a sport for T. For a while we were like, maybe he doesn't need an organized sport. We are just learning our way around. And then, what do you think? Why do you think we switched?
Well, I think that he is somebody who likes to be involved in this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's also, he's a active kid, mm-hmm. and it's been hard to get good activity just because of how hot it's been. We haven't been able to get outside as much as we'd like. And this is an opportunity to get some of that energy out and some of that activity and organized activity in.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a network set up here yet of playdates, friends, etc. We are having a few with one person who's amazing. They're a really great family, but we don't have a lot to choose from yet. We've had more than a few because we've had 2 families. But anyway, it's just we need more opportunities for him to connect with other kids. He's very, very social.
Mm-hmm. Now, our first thought, and something that's very actually widely used here, was Little League. Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, T did Little League this past summer.
Yeah, and we put it, I asked the American Moms page on Facebook what the recommendation was for something that feels very community-like. And definitely the 80% of the comments were Dubai Little League. That's what you're looking for. And we would have done it.
Well, so there were basically a couple of issues. First of all, you do Little League at a different time of year here because you got to do it during the winter.
Right.
When you can be outside. So the season, unlike back in the States, isn't April to July. The season is
like mid-October to mid-March.
Yeah, so it's long. I mean, it's a lot longer here
yeah.
than it was back in the States. And we were kind of like, do we want to commit every Saturday for 6
Sunday,
months to this particular activity? And we were sort of like, well, we would rather wait to see what it's like there before making that sort of a commitment. And
the reason we talked about it this summer before we even moved is there was like a deadline to get the early bird discount, which was about $600 US dollars. So just for reference sake, at home, Little League was like $160, I think, is what I paid for last year's season. And I was having a hard time wrapping my brain around $600, although it is maybe aligned with Dubai prices.
Well, so we missed that deadline.
Yeah.
We got here and we were looking at it, basically last week.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, that discount date was a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Because how much is it now?
It was close to $1,000 USD. And we were like, like that's really not feeling good right now. And so I was talking to a coworker who is Irish, and she was thinking about this, and she talked to her brother who also works at the school and has little kids, and came back to me a day or two later with like, I have an idea for you. And she sent me the contact for somebody of this who works with this team, this mom. And it is Gaelic football. I mean, Gaelic football.
I mean, I'm a sports writer for 30 years, and I've written about just about any sport you can think of. I have no clue about Gaelic football.
I mean, yeah, that's true. And Nick really does know about almost every sport. It's really funny that he didn't know about this one. But there is no Gaelic football. Well, actually, it turns out there is. But anyway, it's not a sport people are really covering in the States.
No.
They do have leagues. I looked it up. There's one in Seattle. But Dubai has Gaelic football. And I was like, cool. I wonder if we'll be the only Americans there. And
Well, let's set the scene first.
Okay.
So, first of all, much more affordable.
Much more. Oh my gosh, 800 dirhams.
Yeah, so we're
for the
talking
season.
about 20%
Dirhams?
of what Little League cost was.
Oh my gosh.
And then, so we have to drive out to a different part of town. It's pretty far out. It's like about
35, 40 minutes.
And we get there, and it is chaos. We enter into this gym because they are doing it indoor for one more week.
Yeah.
And there are just kids of, between 3 and 10 maybe?
Yeah.
Just
everywhere.
Running around.
Yeah.
Everything, kicking balls.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a madhouse in there, and we did not know what to do.
But everybody was friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just walked up to some adults that looked like they might know things.
Because we were there to try it out. We had not officially joined yet.
Yeah.
And so we were going to give T a chance to see what he thought and whether he enjoyed it or not.
Yeah.
And they welcomed him to do that. They suggested to do that themselves.
Well, and I'd been on a WhatsApp group chat, so the name, T's name was in there. And I knew what team to go to, but I made the mistake of not saying what team or what group. I just said who he was and his age, and they put him with a different group.
Yeah, he ended up in a group with older kids because we said 5.
Yeah.
But what we should have done is said his birth year.
Or I could have just said the Shamrocks, and that would have done it.
But they're all divided up by birth year, and so he ended up with older kids who had more knowledge and experience of what they were doing.
Yeah.
But, we'll come back to that. We should probably talk a little bit about what Gaelic football is.
Okay.
So, for those who don't know, it's kind of this combination of soccer and rugby and a little bit of basketball. And they use a ball that's basically a soccer ball.
Yeah, the basketball part is not as noticeable.
But they're carrying this ball a lot.
Yeah.
And the basketball part is if you take 3 or 4 steps, you got to dribble if you want to keep going.
Right.
And then the way you pass it is kind of volleyball like. You underhand bat it to a teammate.
Yep.
And then to score, you have to kick the ball into a goal. It's kind of a soccer-sized goal, and you get 3 points if you get it into the net, and 1 point if it goes over the net, but through the goalposts.
Yeah. And why do we know all this?
Because we looked it up on YouTube.
We watched a bunch of videos actually with T. And he was super into it and seemed to kind of understand what was happening. So when we got there, he kind of put it together. I was pretty impressed. He can really pick up what is happening in a sport. And so he got to try some skills out, and some were harder for him. But when he got to kick the ball, he was shining and happy. And it was kind of cool because at the end, this coach came over who found out he was on the wrong group. But he said, hey, he's in the wrong group, but I just want you to know, he's got better skills than you would think for his age. And I was like, oh, so proud. Because he did a little soccer last year in the States, but it wasn't like he did a ton. He only did it last year. He did it for 2 very short seasons. And so really, other than that, he practices with you. He likes to kick the ball with Daddy.
So, anyway, we got done with the tryout day and asked him if he wanted to do it again. Mm-hmm. And his response was immediate.
Yes. And then we asked him a couple more times over the next couple days, and he was still a resounding yes. Oh, and we forgot to mention one of the really important parts. This is the Gaelic Athletic Association or something, the GAA. And it's all around the world. So they have them in many countries. And that includes not just Gaelic football, but
hurling. Another sport that I did not know anything about.
But it looks like field hockey, but it's not field hockey.
I mean, it's a lot of it. It's similar to the Gaelic football, except you're using a smaller ball and a stick.
Yeah,
it's like the same goal and goalpost and scoring, but you gotta hit it with the ball with the stick instead of kick it into the goal.
Yeah.
So he got to do some drills with hurling as well.
Yeah, and he was into that too. He was paying a lot of attention to what people were doing and trying to do it himself when he got the chance. So we are excited to be back this coming week and be on the right group this time. I need to pay for the year, but he was so confident that he wanted to do it. Like, I feel very comfortable with it. And I love Irish people. I truly do. I love the accent. I love the people. They're so friendly. It's the first place I ever went abroad.
Well, and you, of course, are of Irish heritage.
I am of Irish heritage. I mean, I don't know where my ancestors are from, but Irish people often like to tell me. Anyway, it's kind of fun. My dad just said he was 55% Irish, and if that were a way I could become a citizen, I would do it, but it is not. Anyway, this is just helping me live my dream of someday living in Ireland.
Well,
basically.
And who knew there were so many Irish people in Dubai?
I didn't know till we got here, but I work with quite a few at the school. And if you look it up, there's like a really pretty substantial community. And they're not all educators, but that's part of it.
And I guess starting this coming Sunday, we will be joining them even more.
Yeah, and they'll be sitting there going, how did these Americans end up in this group? Okay, so moving on, we had another so that's a lot of new experiences. Okay, so we had another new experience last night.
Yeah, we went to a part of town that we had not really explored it. Well, we hadn't explored it all. I guess we kind of drove through the highway once, but I don't think we'd spent any time there.
No, like you saw it over to the side.
So it's a part of town called Dubai Hills.
Yeah.
Which actually isn't that far from us.
Right.
It's down one major street, basically, one kind of highway-ish street, and it's a straight shot. And first of all, let me just say that Dubai Hills is not very hilly.
No, I don't know where the hills are. We didn't see them, feel them.
Especially coming from Seattle, where there's lots of hills.
Yeah.
Their idea of hill is probably what we would consider a speed bump.
Yeah. Yeah. But I will say it's very pretty. It's a really nice part of town. So where we live in Al Barsha, the sidewalks are hit and miss. That's probably the most confusing thing about Al Barsha. Like, I really like the area, actually. But I'm like, where are the sidewalks? How come they're here sometimes or not here sometimes?
Right. When we have to walk to your friend's house, or if we're walking to the small little mall that's just a block away, we end up walking through dirt.
Yeah, we're in dirt or sand, and then you're also like on the road. You're maybe on a sidewalk for a little bit, and then you're back on the road. It's confusing. And with a kid, I really wish we had more sidewalks. But Dubai Hills seems to have a lot of sidewalks. It kind of looks like, excuse me, for those people who live in Seattle area, it looks a little bit like Bellevue, like it's very manicured. And there's lots of high rises and a kind of what looks like a downtown core. Looks like there's businesses and shops and restaurants, and lots of people were walking around at night. Well, we went there for dinner. And I saw a fair amount of people walking to the market. Ooh, there was a Monoprix there, which for people who've been to Paris know that that's exciting. Anyway, we were there for dinner.
Yeah, so why did we end up in Dubai Hills?
We ended up in Dubai Hills because I wanted Thai food, and my friend who's lived here a year had told me about this really good place, so I messaged her and she sent me the name of it. And there's a bunch of them, but one is in Dubai Hills, and that's the map link she sent me. She had also expressed shock and awe that we had not been to Dubai Hills Mall the other day. And I was like, well, why? It's a mall. And we still have not been.
But we did drive around it on our way back. And it looks very nice.
It does look
outside.
like a really nice mall. I know when I first told Nick that was her reaction, he's like, I mean, a mall's a mall. But then you're driving around and you're like, well, it actually might be a nicer mall. I don't know, but we'll do that next.
Yes. A little interesting side note about restaurants.
Yeah.
So what seems to be somewhat regular is that when you order a kid's meal,
if there's a kid's meal
at restaurants, it seems to come with a toy.
Yeah.
I mean, T got his kid's meal at the Thai restaurant.
Oh my gosh.
And they came over and had a box with his choice of Hot Wheels cars that he could take.
And something about the children's menu at this restaurant. This restaurant was called Little Bangkok. I'm going to say the name of it because we loved it. We gave it a good Google review. Everyone here asks for your Google review, and I'm happy to do it if I can be honest. Anyway, it was a really good experience. We were the only people in there, which I think is because it was a Monday night. But it was really tasty, and the kids menu had only Thai food on it, which I loved because a lot of times you get a kids menu and there's like, oh, and also we have chicken strips and mac and cheese. And I'm like, cool, but actually I really want my kid to have Thai food. He likes Thai food. And he ate it. He loved it. He loved the meal he got. It also came with, like, the main course was like a noodle dish. And then it also came with a little dish of ice cream. It could be coconut, vanilla, or chocolate. He chose the coconut. And it also came with an appetizer.
Yeah.
And it was also a Thai appetizer. So it felt really nice. And then, of course, a Hot Wheels car. I mean, we bring cars with us to restaurants. Like, we have a bag of cars that we bring to restaurants. It has made T happy for 3 years. And to get another one just made him even happier.
Yeah, and he played with that car the entire time we were at the restaurant.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, there was a funny little moment. So when we went back to the car, you ran into the Monoprix store to go check on something really quick. So while I got him into the car, and I get him into the car seat in the back seat, and he insists on me turning on the light. So I do, and the reason why he wanted the light on is so he could introduce his new car to two of his cars that he had that had been left in the car before that he really likes.
Gosh.
One of which is Lightning McQueen from the movie Cars. And the other one is another Hot Wheels. And so he introduced his new car to his other cars in that moment.
I mean, that's adorable.
Yeah, so that was a fun little moment to see.
Yeah, so shout out to Little Bangkok, which was yummy. I mentioned it to somebody today, and they were like, oh, that place is so good. So, that was my coworker. Anyway, it was a good experience. We will definitely go back, and we're looking forward to doing more Dubai Hills exploration.
Yeah, especially if it really is as walkable as it looked like. I mean, when it cools down a little bit more. And it has cooled down a little bit. I mean, we are, I think, into double digits now.
Yeah, I posted a photo on our Instagram page because I was like, look, there's no triple digits.
Yeah.
And that was true. If you looked past just those few days, there's no more triple digits. It might feel like it's in the triple digits, but it is not. So we are moving in the right direction. Yeah,
and speaking of moving in the right direction, we are also moving in the right direction in terms of our residency.
Yay! Yeah, Nick has been waiting for residency. We were originally going to wait and see if he could get a job that would sponsor him. But that just feels like hard. It feels like we don't know how long this is going to take, and we don't know if we don't want to overstay the visa. Of course, we can't overstay the visa.
Well, and also you saw something that said you had 60 days if you were going to sponsor me.
Right. So, and I wasn't sure, like, if there was something that I could look up that was different, but I thought, I'm just going to stick with this. Well, you know what? I'll just do it. Mm-hmm. Fine. And then...
So basically the way it works is that you got your residency visa through the school.
Right,
because
they
you
handle
have
all
a job.
Mm-hmm.
But T and I don't have our residency visas. We need you to basically sponsor us so that we can get ours.
Yeah.
And so there's a whole big, long paperwork process for doing that.
Yeah.
Which we've been working on the entire time we've been here.
Yeah. And I get paid back for T's, but I have to do the whole process. So it's a lot of work actually doing this. I had to go to what they call, I don't know how you say it, but it's an AMER center, AMER, I don't know how you say it, but they have these centers all over, and the one that I go to is pretty recommended. It's in Al Barsha.
Yeah, so basically what these are, I don't think they're like governmental offices, but they are companies that help you with government paperwork.
I have no idea.
I think that's what it is.
Oh.
Because they'll help you with all sorts of different things that are like government related or visa related or ID related.
But you don't think they're a government office?
I don't think so, because I think there are separate ones that are actually government. Now, don't quote me on this.
Yeah, we're going to hang up, and then we're going to, or after we finish this recording, we're going to totally Google it.
But I think that they're just helping you out. I think
Yeah.
that's what their business is. And we've used them for a couple of different things here.
We have?
Well, it might have been different things for the residency, but
Yeah, I've been twice now.
Yeah, and I've been
Yeah.
a couple of times myself.
Yeah, so it is, I have no idea everything that I did in this process, but it's kind of funny how it works. Like you go, they ask you for things, you try to find them on your phone or in your paperwork, you show them to them, they type some things in, they do some things, they ask you to WhatsApp some things to them like photos or whatever, and then you do those things, and then they say, okay, go pay. And then you come back with the receipt, because you just pay like in the same office. You come back with the receipt, they do some more things, and then you go pay again. And then you come back with another receipt, and you do some more things, and then you go pay again. And so I did that like a week and a half ago, and then I had to wait for like it to process, which was really fast actually for those two. And then I went back on Saturday, and I went through that same exact process again. The first person I worked with at the Amherst Center was really helpful, and he did actually handwrite the different things that would be happening the second time. It doesn't mean I understood it or I followed it very well, but he did. And then I was like, oh, I wish he were working with me today for the second time, because I was really lost and confused. But the second time I brought tea with me, mainly because Nick needed a break because they spent so much time together without me last week.
Well, and also, I mean, it was kind of like tacked on to your Saturday morning routine.
Yeah, we already
which is
have
just you and tea.
We already have our routine by ourselves, and I was like, you know what, I have to get this done. I don't want Nick to have to handle tea by himself again. He's really been doing that a lot last week. So I brought him with me, and it really tested him having to sit there, because we were there like probably an hour and a half as I shuffled between 3 different people, and he had to keep staying with me. And he was fidgety and he was hungry, but he told me later, he goes, when I mentioned that, I said, you were really hungry and fidgety, and he said, yeah, but I could handle it. And I was like, yeah, you can. It was hard, but you did it. And then we went and got Five Guys, which is not my norm because I don't really love it as much as T does, but he was so happy, and I felt like he deserved that reward. So,
well, it all ended up being worth it, because what happened today?
Oh yeah, his ID was delivered.
Yeah, they came to the door.
Yeah.
And you have to bring his passport to make sure that it's verifying that it actually is going to the person that's supposed to. But we now have a ID card. For tea.
Yeah,
an Emirates ID card.
So shout out to the UAE. I don't understand the process, and it's expensive, but they are very fast and efficient.
Yeah.
So once you've done everything you were supposed to do, it's done like the next business day.
Right. You were on Saturday. We're doing the paperwork for this. Mm-hmm. Today is Tuesday.
Yeah, and Monday I was told it was ready, and I could see it in my app.
Right. We had a digital version on Monday. So once you actually did the paperwork, it all got approved very quickly.
Yeah.
And because of that, we expect mine to go through pretty quickly too. I still have to do one more step. I got to get
the biometrics. Yeah, fingerprints.
And that I have an appointment for that on Thursday. But if things go the way they did with T, hopefully by the beginning of next week, I'll have a card as well.
Yeah, and so Nick, if he were working for a company, he'd have a work visa like I do, and that's simple. But right now, he will be searching for jobs without that, but he can get a work visa. He can get like work permission. It's like a work permit under a sponsored visa, under like a family-sponsored visa. So there's more options for him now that this will be done.
Right, and largely what my job search has been looking for things that were remote. Mm-hmm. But that'll open up a much larger set of options for me to explore. Including
possibly substituting.
Right.
Which he's never taught, but I have always said Nick would be a really good teacher.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. Okay, so we are heading into our last section of the podcast, which is our only recurring segment.
Yes. It's time for our Excellents and Boguses of the week.
He never tires of saying that. Okay.
All right, well, why don't you get us started?
Okay. So my excellent is we had a Zoom call last night that a family friend, Bill, thanks Bill, set up for us with a longtime friend of his who lives in Dubai and has been here for decades, literally since the 70s. And he was so interesting. First of all, Bill has been trying to set this up for a long time. He just knew that this man would have a wealth of knowledge and be a good source of networking and so forth. And Bill is just a wonderful person and was trying to be helpful. And in fact, it was helpful and it was so interesting.
Yeah.
So that just was like a highlight for me. That was an excellent moment for me. And also I feel very cared for and wrapped around when people do things like that. And so that kind of like is partly what is informing the feeling of excellence for me.
And the fact that he's coming from a media world too.
Yes, right.
I mean, there's some understanding towards what my situation is,
right,
and some of the things that I might be looking for.
Right, because Nick would love to still be a sports reporter if he could, or be in journalism of some kind if possible. And this man just has a wealth of knowledge and had lots of interesting stories and things to share and some ideas, as did Bill. So it was just nice to be kind of connected that way and to know that we have good friends watching out for us. Okay. All right, babe, what's your excellent for the week?
Okay, so my excellent is all about mango juice. So, of course, back in the States, your typical juice that you have in the morning is orange juice. That's what you would buy at the store. That's what you get at a restaurant if you're having brunch or something like that. Orange juice is what you get. Well, they have orange juice here. Yeah. But they also have mango juice or mango nectar that is just as common as...
And maybe more common.
As orange juice is.
Yeah.
And this is really good.
It's so good. Yeah.
It is, it's a little thicker than orange juice.
Yeah, because it's a nectar.
It's a nectar. But it is amazingly tasty. It is... Where we found it very affordable. I mean, I would say it's even more affordable than orange juice.
Well, it was interesting because when we moved into our apartment, the school leaves a few supplies for you, some basic furniture, and then a little bit of food and things like that. And so that's where we were introduced to it. And if they had not left that, we probably would not be buying it.
Right. I mean, there was a mango juice and there was an orange juice in the refrigerator. The orange juice went bad really fast.
Yeah.
The mango juice was really good and it lasted.
Yeah.
Because it's so thick, you can have less of it too.
Yeah, you don't want as much of it. Our kid loves it.
He always wants it. Works well in your smoothies.
Yes, and I love a smoothie. And I think I mentioned on an earlier episode that we did buy a NutriBullet. And so when we used to keep orange juice around, we wouldn't put it in every smoothie, but we would put it in some. And so you throw a little mango juice in there, you throw a little water in there, and you're like, all right. This is good.
Yeah. So I'm a big convert. I mean, I am the mango juice guy now.
Yeah. If we ever move home, we're going to be like, where's the mango juice? Excuse me. Where's the mango nectar?
Yeah.
No, you know what? I think they have that kind of thing at home. It's not as big and it's a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll be doing that.
All right. So I'm enjoying the mango juice.
All right.
On to boguses. What do you got?
Okay. Well, I already talked about it, so I don't need to go on and on. But just the cost of the Emirates ID process. The process for tea was expensive, but I'm going to get paid back for that. And so it's just kind of how much money I was putting out into the world to sponsor Nick. I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm just so curious how much it cost 5 years ago. So anyway, that's a bogus for my bank account mainly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and, we found that many boguses around spending here.
Yeah.
It's not a cheap city. And if we were living in Abu Dhabi, it wouldn't be as expensive.
That's true. Right. Just the driver's license alone is cheaper. Yeah.
So that's just a part of life in Dubai. You're not going to be getting a lot of deals here.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. My bogus, and we kind of teased this a little bit last week.
It's what you've all been waiting for. What did Nick think of the bidet?
So just kind of to recap, I've always been very, very intrigued by the concept of a bidet, but I had kind of been reluctant to do it since we got here.
Couldn't understand it.
Every time I would go to use it, I just kind of chickened out. Well, I kind of put myself in a corner last
Yep.
week with last week's episode.
The pod.
And so I felt like I had to give it a try this week. And so I did. And I've tried it several times. And the reason why it's a bogus is because I found it's not particularly effective for me.
I don't think I want to go into this too
Right.
much.
Yeah, and we won't.
Okay.
But whether it's my technique or biology or whatever, let's just say that it's of limited use.
Oh my gosh. After we are done recording, the first thing we're going to do is Google. Wait, what were you going to Google? There was another thing we were going to Google.
The Amher Center.
Yes, we're going to Google that. And then the second thing is I'm going to talk to Nick about technique. Bidet technique. Not that I know how to do it correctly, but I am going to talk about it.
So let's stop there.
Okay.
That's enough on that.
Okay, the end. Our kid is up. Have a great week, everyone.
And remember to be excellent to one another.